Hey, what's up, wrestling fans and YouTube fan? Welcome back to another edition of the DaVon Lewis Show podcast, where I continue to keep things all nitty gritty, everything's saucy in the land of professional wrestling. More importantly, thank you guys for making this your go-to spot for weekly breakdowns, hot takes, and everything in between. If you're new here, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. More importantly, let's go ahead and dive into the Monday Night Raw on Netflix review for May 26, 2026, which was concluded not too long ago. Let's go ahead and get into the review. Appreciate you guys coming through. Let's get into it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive into the actual review with the opening segment between Paul Heyman and the Seth Rollins coalition, which involved Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. A lot had went into this actual detailed promo, including Paul Heyman putting over all three men of the likes of their careers, their accolades, and everything they actually have done in WWE. To the likes of even Seth Rollins coming out to saying he will be the future of the company, and he has built total dominance with the crew that he currently has, and he will be the man that will be Money in the Bank. Speaking of Money in the Bank, we have the first qualifying match, which we have Penta defeating the likes of Dragon Lee and Chad Gable in a great triple threat match. It was good stuff. I enjoyed the whole entire presentation of how things had transitioned between all three of these guys in trios, three-way, and you could have got nothing better when it comes to those guys, and it was great stuff. Then we got to the Judgment Day Clubhouse. Liv Morgan returned after Dominic Mysterio had a friendly moment with Roxanne Perez. Completely disregarded everything that had took place, and she said she's going to talk to Adam Pearce about getting her Money in the Bank qualifying. And of course, you saw what was going on with the drama. Finn Balor was all smiles. He's setting his plan in motion, and he's loving how everything is working out. And this situation, he got to be careful playing with fire. And hopefully, the Judgment Day don't kick him out or put a beat down on him, because Dominic is watching the whole situation too, and he knows this so familiar, especially what happened with Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley in the past. So this is like deja vu rewriting itself all over again. So we got to see what happens with the continuation with this Judgment Day drama leading up towards Los Angeles and Money in the Bank. Rusev, he defeated the likes of Akira Tozawa in squash fashion with the accolade, but of course Sheamus was able to make the save. And then the two boys had a nice, lovely stare down. It's going to be good stuff from my personal opinion. And I look forward to seeing those two big behemoths put on a clinic, banger after banger. They have history. They even been in a stable together. And I look forward to seeing maybe what may happen between those two boys. And you know you're not going to be disappointed. Then we got the three-way tag team action for the WWE World Tag Team Championship, as we have the New Day defeating New Day members of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defeating the likes of American-made members of the Creed brothers of Brutus and Julius Creed, along with the War Raiders Eric and Ivar, as the New Day took advantage of this actual match, and they were able to secure the victory. The Red Brand Tag Team action continues to heat up in a big way. You're going to get everything you truly could ask for. I enjoyed it. It was good stuff to see the New Day continue with their path of being a dominant tag team. They are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and they knew how to handle this situation. This is nothing new to them. The War Raiders was always doing what they normally do, handle business. But the Creed brothers continue to impress me. They are the future of the tag team division. Sooner or later this year, I could see them being the new World Tag Team Champions on the Red Brand. We got to stay tuned for that and see what may happen, as we got a lot that will be happening. Speaking of different things that took place, Jey Uso came out for a promo. He was quickly interrupted by Gunther. A lot of barbs back and forth between each other, but more importantly, leading to a great match coming up in a few weeks. We know Jey Uso straight up lay out the law of saying, I'm going to put you to sleep, Ben, and I'm going to handle business. But this time, Jey Uso knows Gunther's not going to take him lightly. Hopefully he doesn't get gassed up and tap out again. But in overall, between those two, it was a great conversation back and forth and a good promo. Kairi Sane, she defeated Liv Morgan, who had Raquel Rodriguez there available, but got distracted because of Roxanne Perez, who tried to intervene to help Liv Morgan with a favor. And there was a whole lot of arguing back and forth in the ringside area, which got Liv Morgan distracted, and she was able to take the loss in the women's division. Speaking of the women's division, we had a lovely vignette by Rhea Ripley, who vowed to win the Money in the Bank briefcase and become the mommy in the bank. And I could see that happening. She is on that path, and but I'm looking for her to make that switch to go for the WWE Women's Championship, make that jump to SmackDown to kind of lighten things up and go after Tiffany Stratton. I think that will be a good move once the draft come along as well, because I know the draft will be a few weeks after Money in the Bank, and then we'll be having the draft. And it's going to be good to see what may happen, who will be getting switched around, who will be making a call up from NXT. A lot of different things can switch around. But hopefully Triple H actually mixes it up a little bit with this draft. My own personal opinion. Send some people from the main roster down to NXT to make kind of rotate it out in and out so they get a couple of reps in, people that are not being used, and make NXT feel like a third brand, not a developmental, because you got LFG, you got Evolve. That could be your developmental. Make NXT officially a third brand of NXT being a main roster as well, with somewhere where some people can go. But speaking of NXT, the biggest thing is we had Trick Williams this past weekend at Battleground, becoming the first WWE active superstar, the WWE active superstar, to become the TNA World Champion. That's a big one, ladies and gentlemen. I highly recommend you see that match between Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. You definitely won't miss a beat, but you will really enjoy that match. Then we get to Lyra Valkyria, who came out for a promo. She was interrupted by Becky Lynch, a lot of back and forth. They made stipulations on both sides. Even if they defeated a Money in the Bank on Lyra's side, she promises to leave her alone. But of course, on the situation, Becky Lynch, she said, "You will raise my hand." But of course, Lyra set up straight up said, anytime somebody tries to raise your hand, it's out of disrespect, and you don't do the same thing back in return. So we got to see where it picks up a Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch, this is the third time you going at it against Lyra. You better go ahead and get that victory, girl. You can't be playing around Lyra. Lyra got your number, and she's been handling business all the way through. So the stipulation has been accepted from both sides, and it should be good. Then we get to Sami Zayn walking in the halls of backstage. He was quickly interrupted by Karrion Kross, who told him he would never win a world championship. But Zayn told him he would deal with him later, because he got to handle business right now for that main event. Then we get to the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Seth Rollins defeated the likes of Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. He was accompanied with Paul Heyman. But of course, things broke down quickly when we had the coalition coming down to get involved. CM Punk got involved as well, including Dominic Mysterio, who was trying to assist Finn Balor, but it's been a while since he's helped the members of Judgment Days in quite such a long time. But this was a nice little situation where the curb stomp chair shot happened again. Feel like what happened all over again last year, where Damian Priest did the same thing with the Money in the Bank, and he slid it in and caused Finn Balor the opportunity of a lifetime. Will Finn Balor's frustration blow over with Dominic Mysterio, or he's going to try to put things in motion? You got to stay tuned for that. But Seth Rollins, he is on another war path, and he advances, but I see him having a big problem when it comes to Roman Reigns. And overall, the presentation of this match was great. You had all the drama you could ask for, including mixed up storylines that are officially taking place. But there you guys have it for this edition of Monday Night Raw, that which was calm, cool, and collective. I'd like to know from you guys' point of view, what was your favorite match? How you guys are feeling with everything that took place tonight on the red brand? Do you feel like it's still the superior show past the blue brand? I'd like to know from you guys' point of view and how you feel about all the qualifiers right now who are currently for the men's and women's division for the Money in the Bank. More importantly, I'm going to give this review for this actual show. When it comes to Monday Night Raw, I'm going to give it a solid 7.8 out of 10. Some great ring action, some storylines moving forward, but it was cool for what it was. It wasn't too much, it wasn't too little, but it still was above mid at best, but it was calm, cool, and collective. They couldn't top what happened at AEW's Double or Nothing. That was a phenomenal show, and WWE trying to come piggyback off of that, it was very, very, very hard. I know WWE tries to stay in their own lane, but internet wrestling fans were going ham. They're trying to pick sides, but I enjoy pro wrestling just in general. But if you enjoyed this show, don't forget to check out more reviews right over here to my left. Until the next episode, I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a great following Monday night, and I'll catch you guys this week for another edition for AEW's Dynamite, as well as maybe I may check out NXT for tomorrow as well. I got to see what's going on with that Trick Williams update with everything that's going on with TNA and so much more. Until the next episode, you guys have a great one. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.